Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the new Jet Johnson album so far. I wanted to make a how to play video for the song Any Wonder, which is the last song on the album. I've learned a couple of the other songs, but when I heard this one, it hit me really hard, and so I couldn't wait to learn it. And I'm sure that there are some of you that feel the same way, so I wanted to share what I've learned so far. I think it's pretty accurate. I mostly figured it out by ear, but then this morning there was also an Apple Music interview that I saw where at the very end of it he plays a verse and a chorus of it. So there is that available to help shed some light, other than just using our ears. It is played in drop D tuning, and he confirmed that with at least what he played in the interview. And it's pretty simple. If you do want to play with the album, unfortunately, you're going to have to finagle your tuning because it's in the key of C sharp. So you have to go into drop D tuning, and then you'd have to tune everything down a half step. If you do have a baritone guitar, which is actually what I think the album is recorded with based on the tone, I have one here that it sounds almost exactly like the way the album does. So I think it's in a baritone guitar. But anyways, you would still go into drop D tuning. But then you'd capo it to just get it up to the C sharp, which I believe is the 4th fret. So anyways, I'm going to play just in standard drop D. I'm not going to do the half step down so that you can play along easily. And then after you've learned it, then if you want to change the tuning of your guitar to play with the album, that's great. Anyways, so first I'm just going to go through what the chords are, and then I'll, do the little things to transition between them. So verse 1, is it any wonder? Got an open D, and then the next chord is going to be F sharp minor, but we're going to leave the top 2 strings open, and so we're just going to bar the bottom 3 with our ring finger and pointer finger there. So pointer finger is 2nd fret on the G string, ring finger is barring the bottom 3 on the 4th fret. That's F sharp minor. Next chord is going to be a G major. So we're just going to slide that up a half step to the 5th fret, and then we're going to add our middle finger in there and move the pointer finger up. So if you're familiar at all with your standard bar chords, it's just that, but since we're in drop D tuning, we're doing it a little bit different way. I don't necessarily hear the open E string, so maybe just mute that with your pinky or something. But I also don't hear a higher G either. And then the last chord is E minor, but with we're going to hit the 3rd fret on the B string to add a D note onto it. And sometimes that note is hammered on. You can hear it especially, I think, when it's just doing the guitar between the, before the 2nd verse goes in. But anyway, so it's E minor, but you're just hitting the D string there. Not the D string, but the D note. You can use your middle finger or ring finger, I think. Okay, so those are the 4 chords that make up the verses. So we're going to start with the A string, and we're going to go on the 2nd fret. So, and then he kind of rolls up it, and then does a hammer on from 2nd fret to 4th fret on the D string. And then, that sounds like this. Then you're going to do a similar thing, but on the D string, 2nd fret. And then this time you're going to go into that F sharp minor. And on the album, I can hear a little bit of a slide. So again. And then we already have these notes hit. So that's the 3rd and the 4th string, aka D and G string, 4th fret, 2nd fret, then G chord, and then on the D string, 5th fret, 4th fret. And don't forget that D and the E minor. So put it all together. So that covers the first verse and basically the second verse as well. Let's see. So the chorus. So we're in that E minor, and at this point he kind of echoes the notes he's singing a lot. Well, I guess he does throughout the whole song. So we have the morning comes and goes, and you could be on the B string. Morning comes and goes, and then at that point we're gonna just go into the chord. So that's the B string, 2nd fret, and then 2nd fret on the G string. And in the interview, I couldn't see exactly what he was doing because his fingers were literally behind the microphone, but I did see that he played that. So how he does it, I don't know exactly what fingers, but I like to just keep my E minor barred and then use my middle finger to do it. Morning comes and goes, and then it's gonna be D major as the 4th chord of the chorus. So chords of the chorus are gonna be D, and then it's gonna be B minor, which at first, listening to the album, I was just doing it like this because you can hear this open E string. But in the interview I saw, he does it a little bit differently. He goes to the 9th fret. So you can either do 2nd fret from the A string or 9th fret from the bottom string. So pretty similar sound. You just get that open B as well, which you already have that note in your bar. And then E major for the last chord. And then the second time around, though, instead of ending on the E major, it's going to end on A major. So anyways. Morning comes and goes. And then you can still play those notes, just lift up your ring finger to get the open B. And I just kind of squish my pointer finger down. And then he, at least in the interview, he plays the notes that he sings. So he goes to that B minor. So hard to let go. Whoops. So you're in that B minor. You already have this one. This is on the D string. So 9th, 7th, 4th, I think 4th again, and then E major, and then you can hear that. So this is on the G string. Your pointer finger is there, adding the 3rd of the note, and then I just squish similar to what I was doing with my pointer finger, I just squish my pinky down, but my pinky can kind of bend backwards a little bit, so it makes it easier for me. But and then you can play the notes that he sings again. And then this time he sings a little bit higher. If you can't hear me now, and echoes it. So again, that's on the G string. You're on the 7th, 6th, 4th, 2nd, and into the A major. And then that's repeated again, kind of echoing, but on the B string. Depending how you play your A, I'm using my last 3 fingers, so not my pointer finger. I just slide my pinky up. And then it would go into the second verse. Okay, so the second time the chorus comes around, it is more extended. So I'll just go into that because the second verse is pretty much the same. There are a couple things that I'll review about at the end, but we'll go right in that second half of the second chorus. If you can't hear me now. So then he starts singing higher. The shadows come and go. And this time it's going to be a G chord. And how he plays it, I don't know exactly, what method he's doing. I feel like I can hear this A in the album, but there's multitude of instruments playing at the same time. So I don't know if that's just part of the ambience from another instrument or if that's actually what he would play live on his guitar. I don't know. And you can do that a couple ways. You can either do like the full, bar chord similar to how we were doing, but then just put your pinky down on the A. And by A, I mean that's the 5th fret and the E string. Or you can even, excuse me, you can even just put your ring finger down the 5th fret, pointer finger on the B string on the D, and then also have that pinky there. So you're keeping a couple open strings there. I would mute the A string with your ring finger. So so just a little bit less effort, I think, required that way. And then, yep, so that's going to be the first chord. And then it's going to go to E minor this time. And then still keep the middle finger on the D. And then back to A. The shadows come and go. So G. And then you can echo it. So that's one way that one reason why I like doing it this way better than doing like the full bar. A little bit more flexibility because you can harmonize. So he's singing, but you can still hear some instrument at least echoes, just like what we've been doing before. Shadows, so hard to move. So hard to move on. I don't know what the words are. So hard to let go. And then there, just so you already have your middle finger on the D, just kind of slide it over. The light will come and go. It gets so lost somehow. You can always come back home if you can't hear me now. And then the beginning again. Etc. Alright, so that covers everything. I guess the only other little thing I would add, in the second verse, in the second half of it, he kind of starts to just be playing chords. We're dropping those things. At least it sounds like. So kind of starting with the one by one part. One by one now, I hear the birds waking, and the what is this, F sharp minor, chord sounds a little bit different this time. There's a clear dissonance that I can hear, which is between these two notes, which is a half step, by the way. And I don't hear that anywhere else, but I don't know, maybe I'm just not hearing it, but I can distinctly hear it. I think it's at that spot. It's somewhere, I think, kind of in the second verse. I can hear that dissonance. Maybe it's created by two separate guitars. Maybe it is the same guitar, but if you want to mimic that, all you have to do is, instead of barring with your ring finger like we've been doing before, keep that on the bottom string, and then put your pinky on the A string, and then leave the D string open. So again, what the part, this, I think it's the one by one part. One by one now, I hear the birds waking, another morning song that I can take with me. All right. So yeah, that's the only little, I think, difference there in the second verse. It kind of starts just being chords, and then that little difference there. All right, so I think I'll start with the second verse. I'm just gonna play to the end of the song, give you something to play with that's in the same key that hopefully you're practicing in, before you go through the tedious effort of tuning your guitar down a half step or whatever. So second verse. Is it any wonder? So hard to believe. One by one now. All right, so there you have it. Again, I think it's pretty accurate. Haven't seen him on tour yet. I will in 6 weeks, hopefully, and maybe he'll play this song, or maybe he won't, but maybe we'll get some more video evidence in the future of how to play it. But anyways, if you think anything's wrong, or if you've seen him play and can shed some light onto anything that you've seen him do to confirm it, then feel free to leave that in the comments as well. Happy playing. Thanks. Bye.